Tomas Lindberg, the iconic frontman of the legendary Swedish death metal band At the Gates, has tragically passed away at the age of 52 after a courageous fight against cancer. This news has sent shockwaves through the metal community and beyond. But here's where it gets even more poignant. Lindberg had just finished recording vocals for the band's upcoming album before undergoing major surgery related to his illness. The band officially announced Lindberg's death on social media on Tuesday, September 16th, stating, "Tomas passed away this morning due to complications from his ongoing cancer treatment. Despite all the intensive medical efforts, we were unable to save him." They went on to pay tribute to his character and legacy. "Tomas, you were a beacon of inspiration to all of us, a true friend full of compassion and empathy. Your generosity and creative spirit will never be forgotten. You will be deeply missed and forever hold a place in our hearts." Lindberg's distinctive, powerful vocal style helped catapult At the Gates to the forefront of the Gothenburg melodic death metal scene, a movement that reshaped metal music in the early 90s. Formed in 1990, the band quickly gained a devoted underground following, especially after releasing their debut album, The Red in the Sky is Ours, in 1992. This album showcased their unique blend of melody and aggression, setting them apart from many contemporaries. Over the next few years, At the Gates maintained a rapid pace, releasing 3 more albums. Their 1994 release, Terminal Spirit Disease, expanded their reach beyond Sweden's borders. But it was their 1995 masterpiece, Slaughter of the Soul, that truly cemented their place in metal history. This album is often hailed as a genre-defining work and even earned a spot at number 79 on Rolling Stone's list of the 100 greatest metal albums of all time. Reflecting on the creation of Slaughter of the Soul in a 2018 interview with Revolver, Lindberg shared, "Our goal was to craft an album as impactful as Exodus's Bonded by Blood or Slayer's Rain in Blood. We never thought we'd come close, but aiming high meant we might reach halfway." At that time, many death metal bands were content with producing mediocre records, but we refused to settle. At the Gates wanted to challenge ourselves against the giants of the genre. Despite the critical and commercial success of Slaughter of the Soul, the band disbanded just a year later. Lindberg didn't slow down, however, diving into various musical projects over the next decade. He lent his talents to the grindcore supergroup Lockup and explored hardcore and punk influences with bands like The Great Deceiver, Disfear, and Skitsystem. In 2008, At the Gates reunited for a tour, rekindling their chemistry and fanbase. This reunion eventually led to the release of a new album in 2014, At War with Reality, which was well received by fans and critics alike. Although founding guitarist Anders Björler left the band after that album, At the Gates continued to tour and create music, releasing 2 more albums, To Drink from the Night Itself in 2018 and The Nightmare of Being in 2021. Interestingly, Björler rejoined the band in 2022, bringing the original lineup closer together once again. In 2023, Lindberg was diagnosed with adenoid cystic carcinoma, a rare form of cancer affecting the mouth and palate. He kept his diagnosis private until August of that year, when he shared the news publicly. He revealed that he had undergone extensive surgery that removed a significant portion of the roof of his mouth, followed by radiation therapy. Unfortunately, early in 2025, doctors discovered that the cancer had returned in a form that could not be treated with surgery or radiation. In a remarkable display of dedication, Lindberg disclosed that the day before his major surgery, he spent an entire day in the studio recording all his vocal parts for At the Gates' forthcoming album. "We wanted to make sure the album was finished, so to speak," he explained. The vocals were actually recorded before the rest of the album, which is a bit unusual, but it felt good to have that done. Lindberg also mentioned that the band had decided not to delay the release of this new album, though no official release date or further details have been announced yet. "This album is something we're all incredibly proud of," he said. "It marks the first time in a decade that Jonas, Björler bassist, and I have collaborated with Anders, Björler guitarist, on writing a full album. It's a bit of a return to our roots, blending elements from our last two albums with Anders, Slaughter of the Soul and At War with Reality. We hope everyone will enjoy it." This announcement leaves fans eagerly anticipating what could be a powerful final statement from Lindberg and At the Gates. But it also raises questions. How will this album be received in the shadow of Lindberg's passing? And what does this mean for the future of the band? Here's a thought-provoking angle. Some might argue that the band's decision to release the album now, amid such personal tragedy, could be seen as a way to immortalize Lindberg's legacy, while others might question whether it's too soon or if the album should stand on its own, separate from the circumstances. What do you think? Should the music be judged independently, or does the context of Lindberg's illness and death inevitably color our perception? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. This is a conversation worth having.